So coming back to the circuit, when I want to find VTH, you can see there are multiple paths available to travel. I can travel starting from point B or negative polarity. I can travel through 5 volts battery, 5 ohm resistance, and come to positive polarity or point A. So I'm basically traveling in upward direction and then towards left. So let's see what is going to be VTH. So when I cross this voltage source, I'm going negative to positive polarity, so that will be voltage plus 5. Next, I'm traveling through this 5 ohm resistance. Now what is the current through 5 ohm resistance? If you observe carefully, this Ix continue to flow through 5 ohm resistance also. However, it is flowing towards right and we are traveling in the left direction. Whenever we travel in the direction of current, we take current as the drop as negative, but this time we are traveling in the opposite direction, so we take drop as positive value. So it's plus, the resistance is 5 and the current is Ix, so it becomes 5 into Ix. And that's my VTH, because we reached point A, so there is nothing else to be considered. So these are only two components that we come across, and we have written this was the voltage source, so we simply write 5 volts directly. This was a resistance, so we wrote voltage as 5 into Ix. It was positive because we are traveling in the opposite direction. If you need little more clarification on this, because Ix is flowing towards right, the polarity of the voltage drop will be plus on the left, minus on the right. There will be fall in voltage. And because we are traveling in the left direction, you can see we are moving in the direction of voltage rise from minus to plus, and hence our drop is positive. However, when I put the value of Ix, you can see Ix itself was negative. So when I put the value of Ix, obviously I'm going to get negative sign here. So 5 plus 5 into minus 2, and this will be nothing but 5 minus 5 into 0.2 will be nothing but 1, and this gives me the desired value that I was looking for of VTH, and VTH becomes 4 volts. So that's my first answer. We have obtained VTH as 4 volts. I hope you understood the whole approach and various steps that we have applied. The second step will be to find RTH. Only after we get RTH along with VTH, we can draw the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. So let's now go to the step number 2 and see how to find RTH. So to find RTH, we once again consider the original circuit. RTH is always the resistance looking through the same two open circuited terminals. So the very first point I'll mention is take the same two open circuit terminals, and this time, last time we had defined the open circuit terminals and then we had defined VTH. This time we take the same two open circuit terminals and define RTH between them. So this time we are going to define RTH. Now what are the rules that we follow to find RTH? So before we do that, let me define RTH. So this is the 8 ohm resistance which we will remove because it is across this 8 ohm resistance we are trying to find out Thevenin's equivalent resistance. So this were my two terminals A and B, and now I define RTH across A and B. So it is the resistance looking through A and B, resistance of the remaining network. Now how to find Thevenin's equivalent resistance, how to define it? So for that we have to replace all the sources that we have in this particular circuit. So we say that replace voltage sources with short circuit and current sources with open circuit. That means whenever we have voltage source, we have to replace it with short, and current source we have to replace it with open. There is no current source here, there are two voltage sources, so let's replace both the sources with short circuit. So the first voltage source is replaced with short here, second is also replaced with short, and now we can see that you will get a network of only resistors. So you have to combine these resistors using parallel series combination. If required, we can use star delta transformation, and we have to find out the resistance looking through terminals A and B. So now onwards it will be simply the simplification of this particular network through various steps. The very first you can see is nothing but 5 and 10 ohm resistors are in parallel because they have connected between the same two ends. So let's apply this. 5 parallel 10 will be nothing but 5 into 10 upon 5 plus 10, and this will be 50. This will be 50 divided by 15, and this will be nothing but, so this parallel combination comes out to be 3.33 ohms. So that's the first simplification, and see how the network looks like. So what I'll do is I'll remove this 5 ohm resistance and replace 10 ohm resistance with its equivalent 3.33 ohms. So that's my equivalent resistance, 3.33. Remaining 10 ohm and 5 ohm will keep as it is. So starting from here we have 10 ohm resistance, and here we have 5 ohm, and it is between these 2 points we have our original 2 terminals defined A and B. So now let us keep on doing this. You can see that this time we obtained 10 and 3.33 in a series. So when I combine these two resistors in series will be simply added, so it will become 10 plus 3.33, which will be total resistance 13.33 ohms.